Second kind of investment is government bond. Now, a government bond is something that most big companies, most big investors go into. So basically, you have large amounts of funds, you buy into government bonds, and then the government uses your funds to run the economy, carry out projects, and then pay you back your capital with interest over a period of time. So the government may be paying back in a period of 30 years, maybe 15 years, maybe 10 years, depends on what kind of bond you pick. Most people find bonds very stable. Bonds are used globally. Bonds also determine the state of the economy sometimes. Yeah, so we move on to the third kind of investment, corporate bonds. Corporate bonds basically you dealing with, or a company dealing with a different company. So you're buying into the company's project by providing them money. You're basically financing their project, so financing whatever it is the company wants to do. The only downside to this is if the company fails, most likely you lose your funds, but most times it yields a higher percentage than the government bonds. Most times in most countries, it's a very good way to go. So as an investor, it's good to weigh your options, it's good to assess your risk before you go into any of these investments. The least riskiest is the high yield savings account. So most likely most people go into that, but people also argue keeping your money in savings account is not the best. Um, the government bonds is more sure, more reliable, I guess. In some countries, you have bonds paying out for a span of 30 years non-stop, no problems, regardless of political issues. And then you have the corporate funds with most likely a shorter window, like because it's a company, they'll have a project, they have a timeline to deliver the project. So it's best to weigh your risks, it's best to look at these options and see which one works better for you before going into them. What we try to do is present these ideas. They're out there basically, but it's good to present these ideas to people, to our viewers, to get their minds working, get them thinking of these things, get them checking these things out, get them doing their own research on these things, and basically making their choices. We hope that you become a better version of yourself. We hope that you invest early. We hope that you get successful.